Amen. So good afternoon. So it's our third presentation together. The two last one was we tried to build the context of the quotations that we are studying at the moment. And I just want to remind you that our focus is upon Review and Herald, July 5th, 1906. Okay, we try to understand what is the context of this quotation and why this quotation, paragraph 13 and 14, has been used in the movement for the remarks of 9/11. So as we've got some few new faces, I will try to do a really, really brief summary of what we have covered so far. And I know that the previous presentation, you told me that I spoke too fast. So I will try to not repeat the same thing. And also there are too much information. If you recall, it was difficult to establish this point. So I want to reach this part and re-explain shortly how our understanding of this part. So we said that Ellen White, she read this quotation in July 5th, 1906, a few months after the big earthquake in San Francisco that happened in April 18th. And she says that this earthquake was a warning. She was in Los Angeles when it happened. She left home to go to do some two dedication of the sanatorium of Paradise Valley and Loma Linda, but also to attend the South California, the yearly California of South. And before going to this conference in April 18, she received two visions, and in those two visions, she have a description of God's judgment and the Sabbath, the sacredness of the law of God and the rulership of God. And also the works that have to be done in the big cities. So when she went to Carr Street Church in it was in Los Angeles, the same day she's supposed to teach there, and she heard about the earthquake in San Francisco. Nevertheless, she went to the church and she did a sermon, and she reminds the church that the institution and the people should not live in the big cities, because these cities will face the judgment of God by fire, flood, and earthquake. Okay, and also she explained that this is warning. What's happened to San Francisco was warning that pointed to the coming of the Lord. And the same warning, fire, flood, and earthquake will be repeated because at the end of the world, it's judgment of God. So we ask ourselves if we have to, if she already predicted, she mentioned it, we see about it, and our main focus was why in this article, July 5th, 1906, Ellen White, when she's at her home at St. Helena, she insert in this long article, 38 paragraph, she insert the story of Elder Luther Warren. So we try to find out who is Elder Luther Warren the other day, and we realize that it's an elder who worked in New York. And in the Review and Herald article, she mentioned the letter she sent to the people who are in charge in New York regarding the how to evangelize the big cities. And this elder, Luther Warren, we have some difficulty to find the quotation where she mentioned this report she received from a brother about the behavior of this elder. So it's on, for those who didn't find it, it's a letter 176 1903, and you can read from paragraph 9 to 14. And she described what happened to New York. In fact, we realize that it's a correspondence she has with Dr. Kellogg, and between among other things, she relate this episode, and she told him the day before, so not the 9th, but the day before, she wrote, so the 8th of August 1903, she received a report regarding the work in New York that this elder that is not mentioned in the Review and Herald article, paragraph 13 and 14, she said this elder is want to publish some tracts, terrifying tracts, saying that Ellen White is predicted that New York will be destroyed by a tidal wave that she never said. So by this letter, she wrote the day after, to the responsible of the work in New York City. She explained that this tract, they should not be published because they will hurt the God cause and they will produce a fanatical movement in New York. The gospel, she reminds them that the gospel should be given in its purity. So the work that this elder is doing, we find she insert this article in the article on 1906. And we wondering why she did that. And we said it's because she want to warn, she want to correct the mistake, and she also want to warn about what will happen to New York in its veracity. Okay, do you remember all these things? I don't speak too fast. Okay. So now we have done the recap of what we have done so far. We have covered so far. What I would like us to do today is just to take the quotation of Review and Herald, July 5th, 1906, paragraph 14, and we will try to explain, to understand what she is saying. So we will try to pick up the most important word. We already established during the two first presentation that she's pointing the church to the end of the world, because she keeps saying the day of the Lord is at hand. So we know that she's talking about this time period. And she said, so COP until between COP and Second Advent. Okay, because all these warnings is before, it's to prevent you, it's to warn you, it's to tell you what will happen next. So Ellen White, even though she's in 1906, we see that when we try to draw this chronological line, she brings us back until 1901, almost at the beginning of the work of New York. Okay, because our main issue is to understand why this article about New York is inserted in the article of 1906. So we drew the chronological line and we realized that this story brings us to 1901, quite at the beginning of New York. And by doing so, we go back to the past. But now, as we want to understand paragraph 14 of Review and Herald, July 5th, 1906, we will not look back, we will look forward. Is it okay? Yes? Suelen? Oui, Aline?
The back and now we look forward in the course.
Yes, we look to the back, to the past, to understand the context, to try to retrace it. To try to follow her step, okay? To try to understand these stories. We didn't cover everything, but if you see on the board, they have some indication if you want to read more. But I don't want to focus upon that. I give you all the references to know if you want to know more about these studies, to have the context. Okay, the references is in blue. Okay. What is in orange is what we cover the second slot, the previous one. Okay, so I add nothing on this board today because I will erase it for the next bit. So that means that the two last presentation, we look back in the past, and now we will look back in the present and in the future to really know now our focus is not the earthquake and the context of the quotation. Now our focus is to understand why she tried to tell us about New York, the vision she had regarding New York, okay? So, and in 1906, nothing happened as she described it in paragraph 14 about New York. That's why we have to now look into the future to understand what she tried to portray us. Is it okay? I try to slow down. Yeah, Céline? Okay, I will try to speak slowly. So I invite you to take the quotation with you. And I would like you to, if somebody can read the first sentence, please.
I've declared that New York is be swept away by a tidal wave.
That I never until.
This I have never said.
Okay, so this part, we already cover it a little bit, the previous presentation. It was about that. It was about the false rumor done by Elder Warren. Okay, so this is clear for everybody? Mm-hmm. Yes, we can move on. Roland, ça va? It's okay? Yes. Yeah? Okay. So, and after Suelen, do you mind to read the next sentence? I said.
I have said, as I looked at the great buildings going up there, story after story, what terrible scenes will take place when the Lord shall arise to shake terribly the earth. Then the words of Revelation 8:18, 1 through 3 will be fulfilled.
Okay, stop. You read too much.
Oh.
So thank you. So what I have said, I haven't got the quotation in English, sorry. As I will paraphrase, as she looked at this building, story after story, she said something. What terrible scene will happen when the Lord will stand up to shaken terribly the earth? Okay, we will not we will not really address the construction of the big building, but just to for our own culture in New York, especially in New York. This big building start to be created in the end of the 1900s, so 1880. And at this beginning, okay, they start to build these buildings. So it's Ellen White is already alive. This is the point, in fact, I want you to pick up. She's already alive when the construction of the big building happened. But this building, if you compare with what we have today, is really nothing. It was under 100 meters. in high, okay? So now it's 4 times that, okay? For example, the towers, the World Trade Center, it was more than 400, I think it was 115 meters. Okay, so you can see the, yeah, so if you want me to give you the, I didn't have in this file, but it's 400. The first one, it was the flight Aaron. It was 87 meters in her life. And now the building in New York, the World Trade Center, 417 meters. Okay, the World Trade Center. It's amazing. Okay. So as I said, we will not focus upon that, just a few information. What we want to focus upon is the following part. What terrible sin? What terrible sin will happen when the Lord will arise to shake terribly the earth? So what important word shall we pick up in this sentence? Yes, yes. For you. For me, it was only one word, because remember, we know exactly that these warnings, earthquake, point to the end of the world. But tell me your important word if you want.
One word, I think I would use arise.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Cathy, which word will you take you?
Terrible scenes.
Shake terribly the earth.
It's not a word.
I said it all at one time.
Yeah, okay. Suelen.
I think I would pick a rise also.
Alors, can I ask you why?
Because it reminds me of when of Daniel 12:1.
It reminds you Daniel 12:1. Me too. So why is that? Catherine, can you tell me please which word you will use? We will choose. What?
I say arise.
Arise. So I think that most of us, we choose arise. You agree, Catherine? Cathy? Okay. So I pick up also arise, because for me it's really in the context of what we have seen previously. Okay? The warning, then a point. We see the transition of the demarcation line. We have, before we have the warning. Okay? And now we have a rise. And when we say arise, is for us in France is the same word, but standing up for you. So and the bring us back straight away to as Suelen said, Daniel 12:1. So you know that this is our transition between the warning and the judgment. Even though we say previously, judgment, there is no E, huh? Yeah? There is no E, huh? Okay. So even though we can say, if we want to schematize, if you want to you can say warning 1 and destruction 1, destruction 2, I don't know, but just to see that there is a transition, okay? So Jesus is arrived, and this transition we know that it's marking a point, and from this point we will have this warning pointing to this one. This is what we have seen previously. Okay, so nothing new. The only information is Daniel 12:1. We can place it on the line. So that means that when Jesus will arise, that means that is coming. Okay, because this is what she said. The Lord is coming. So we know that the Lord is coming. Is not coming in one go. In one, it takes time. Okay, and usually, if we have to also use another verse to explain the coming of the Lord and to mark his arriving, we used to say that we are saying, in fact, that at this time period when Jesus is arising, we use Revelation 22 verse 11 to say that it's the end of his intercession work. Is it intercession? Intercession. So this is finished. There is no more warning. So we know that it's Revelation 22, 11. Okay? So it is done. So if we remember, we can continue then after what she said. She said it will be terrible sin. So terrible sin will be at warning or judgment. If we understand the context she's saying. We didn't say fulfillment for the moment in the first sentence. We haven't got this word yet. We said, which terrible sin will be when the Lord arrives to shaken terribly the earth. So here, you put it here? Okay. So this terrible sin is not something new, because if you remember, she said by flood, fire, or earthquake was a warning. So that means that if warning is that, she said it's a warning of what will happen when Jesus will arise and come to shaken terribly the earth. So we know that this will be repeated here. Yes? You understand like me? Okay. So we know that what we are seeing during the warning will be also seen during the coming of the Lord. Or she says sometimes the day of the Lord. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Who can read, please?
Three will be fulfilled.
Thank you. So what is the word the most important for you?
Then.
Then. Okay, so then. Who else? Aline?
I think also then.
You sure? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, Tamina?
Hard decision because I like then, but I like also fulfilled.
Alors, which one you choose?
Oh, don't be so mean. Okay, I just take fulfilled because to have taken then.
Okay. Fulfill. Jim? Zen. Wow. Ça fait 3 persons for Zen. Hein? Catherine? Make the balance.
I'm siding with Tamina. Fulfilled.
Fulfill. So I will ask you a question. What does it mean, fulfill? And why do you choose fulfill?
Because it's completed.
How do you know? What does it mean, fulfill? Completed? Is it a Bible, a dictionary, or you just... is it a dictionary definition, or it's you say, because you know that it means completed? This is what you say, completed?
Yeah.
Yes, but can you explain a little bit more, completed? Which sense do you, how do you understand it?
It's full, so it can't go anymore.
Okay, so that means, I don't have the, okay, so I will take, so it's full, like that. À rabord, I don't have the word, let me, it's empty, it's full, it's full, okay. So, if somebody else has another definition.
They give here a definition like achieve or realize.
Okay. I like that one. I will go with that one. So I know in English, when Elder Parminder explained the word fulfill, he said it's a tautology. That means it's a repetition. Okay, that means it's you use twice the same word. Okay, but I know that for the Germans, French, fulfill doesn't mean. We cannot explain it like you in English, full and full. Or fulfill, it doesn't mean anything for us. So that's why I pick your definition, Tamina, because it makes more sense for the Latin world, you know. So, and in fact, this word so for the French who listen. So I went to this website because it's a website who really is precise in the meaning of the word, the roots, the Latin roots, and so on and so on. And it's really good when you're looking for the different meaning of the word. And the word fulfill for or realize, achieve, as you said, Tamina, is really have the connotation to bring to completion. Okay, to bring to completion a project of an action, to coming to an end. And we have also the word plainly. Is it plain for you? Does it mean something for you? Plainly, totally. Okay, this notion of fulfilled. So it's really totally completed or achieved. Yes, Tamina?
You had something in mind and you had something planned out, and then it comes true.
That's why I said I like to go to this website, because it gives you the roots, the Latin roots of the word. And the Latin roots of the word, it's not only you have on your mind a project and you want to achieve it or realize it. That means that your project, when you say it's fulfilled, it's done. It is done, it's finished. It's totally achieved. It's put to, and I like the word. Yes, it said it's to the very edge. Is it for you? It's like to the very edge. Yeah. So that means this cap, if you put more, it will overflow. Okay, because it's full at the very edge. So when now Ellen White, I think she's really precise when she uses her words, because she really wants us to have all our attention on this time period, and she doesn't want us to be lead astray. Okay? She really wants us to keep on mind that all she was talking about is FTG, close of probation. Thank you. It's really this time period. That's what she said. When the Lord will arise. So she used a keyword that we can already place in our line. The Lord will check terribly the sin, and the warning as identical to this great and terrifying day. And also what she said, she used word that is, there is no ambiguity, is it? No. It means we cannot doubt about the word. We cannot have a bad connotation or meaning. Let me tell you. Yeah. Ambiguity. Yeah, it's the same ambiguity. It's the same. Clear, with no ambiguity, no vagueness, no doubts. Okay? So she choose word that avoid you to have a wrong meaning, because as you say, the word fulfill, we can have a project in your mind and you want to apply it. But if you go to the roots of the word, it's really mean totally completed and at the very edge. I really like this word at the very edge, because it's mean it's over, it's finished totally. So after you said then, so when we place fulfilled, but I already place it at when the Lord already place it at when the Lord is arise. Are you agree where I place it? So let's read, because I just place it like that with. She said, when the Lord will arise. So when the Lord will arise. To shake terribly the earth, then the word of Revelation 18:1-3 will be fulfilled. So where do you place it? Did I place it at the right time for you or no?
We know the judgments are not just 1 second, it's a time period.
Mm-hmm.
And often we have a waymark as a point in time.
Okay, but don't forget something. She said the judgment, but the judgment is during when the Lord is coming, and when the Lord is coming, it's not in one go.
So for me, fulfillment would be between close of probation and his second coming. So right under judgments, everywhere where you wrote that for me is
You will
fulfillment.
put it here, but
Underneath earthquake, like right in the middle.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay. And Kathy, will you place it here or here? What the context is saying, what she's saying. When you have to ask the question, when Revelation 18:1-3 will be fulfilled. Mm-hmm. And she pointing a specific event. This is the point. This is what we said. Because if we follow your logic, it means that when the Lord is arise, it's a period also. And we know that when you say you arise, you stand up and you say it is done, it's a point. It's not, you know?
He arises with this is a moment, I guess, when he comes out of the sanctuary. However, the judgments, we know, take longer. You know, we have the 7 plagues. So not all 7 take place at the same moment.
It's not. She's not talking, fulfill, is not talking, I think, about the judgment. The point is when the Lord will arise. That's why I asked you before, what is the word the most important? Because when we trace, we pick up the most important word, we will not be, you know, we cannot go everywhere. We stay in the mindset of what she's saying. The arising, when it's arise, the word is fulfilled.
So the question is, does it point back to the terrible scenes or to the arising?
The warning point to the terrible sins, because you can see it's the same. But the fulfillment of Revelation 18, 1 to 3 point to this event. That's why I line it up, because these are connected. These two are connected.
My mind is working.
We can be in disagreement.
No, I'm not saying. I'm trying. Yeah, working process.
Oui, Solène?
Well, I think I'm leaning towards it being fulfilled when the Lord rises, because when he rises, then he's going to say, you know, he that is filthy, stay filthy, and he that is righteous, stay righteous. And so then you can't change after that.
Yeah, and also don't forget the meaning of the word fulfilled. Because if not, if we say it's not a point, we continue to add things, and it doesn't match with the meaning of the word for me. So
my question: what is fulfilled? Revelation 1:8-3, which is the sentence that Babylon is fallen.
She said, we read it. Then the word of let's do the beginning. Sorry. So, which terrible sin will be take place when the Lord will arise to shaken terribly the earth? Then, okay. So the point she's trying to portray is when the Lord will arise, okay? This will start the beginning of something, the terrible sin that we've already seen in the past. So when the Lord will arise, then the words of Revelation 18. So I connected, as I told you, these 2 points together, okay?
Would you agree with these terrible scenes are when the Lord arises to shake terribly the earth? That when the Lord shakes the earth, those are the terrible scenes?
It's
in the sentence we were just in. What terrible scenes will take place when the Lord shall arise to shake terribly the earth? The terrible scenes are those when the Lord shakes the earth. Would you agree? Okay.
Yeah? This is
solves
what
things
we
for
have
me.
said so far.
Yeah, that
Yeah?
solves a lot for me.
Okay. So, and after, let's continually. So we, Cathy, you said that the word then for you was the most important. Okay, we can. For me also, it's an important word. And what does it mean then? At that time, alors, we can have different meaning, and this is what is really for me important to have the real understanding of the context. That's why that's helped to identify or to choose which definition we have to use. So why do you take at that time? Why? Why and not therefore?
Sequence. Time.
Okay. Somebody else want to?
My dictionary says it can be either at that time or after that, next, afterwards.
Okay.
For me, that's contradictory.
Yes, it could be. going back to this lexicon vocabulary to go to the roots of Latin words, okay? And for me, it's really helpful. And that's mean at that time. And at that time mean really shows a point. So when when the Lord arrives, he doesn't use Michael standing up. He said, when the Lord arrives, at that time, okay, Revelation 18, 1, 3 is fulfilled. You get it, Tamina? Because if you put it after that, well, I don't know how to reply to your question because I already gave you my understanding. It will not change anyway. I think that you can ask to other students in this room. But voilà, me, I just pick up arise, explain what is mean. Okay, when it's you arise, it's a point also. Fulfilled, what does it mean? And the word then, at that time, really show us that it's a point. At that time, when Michael standing up or the Lord arises, Revelation 18, 1 to 3, it's totally completed. So we understand that Revelation, so do we understand now what is Revelation 18, 1 to 3? So we will see what she's saying. Can we read the other sentence? Yes. Yeah. So what she's saying about Revelation 18? It's a warning. Everybody understands that? Catherine? Oui. Okay, so she's Revelation 18, it's a warning. Okay? So when when it's fulfilled, the warning is finished. Okay? Now we're going to another stage. Any thoughts, any question? So in fact, she just confirming what she's saying at the in the previous paragraph about the warnings that arrive in the meaning of the warning. Why God sent a warning to His people? For me, just a confirmation of what she said previously. Yeah, because during a time period, it's like your parents, they said, I warn you once, twice, 3 times, but after it's over, okay? It's the same, you know? So that's how I understand it. So, Hélène? Okay. So now, the question that everybody is waiting for, why, as the context is COP, why did we use it for 9/11? Why we use this quotation at 9/11? In this quotation, Ellen White gives us three important components that, in fact, led us to this conclusion, if I can express me like this way. she give us New York, so the place. She gave us Revelation 18, 1 to 3. And she gave us she gave us, and the tower. She gave us New York. She gave us the towers. And she gave us Revelation 18, 1 to 3. So this is the three main keywords or clues she gave us. So regarding this, why for you we use this to say that it's 9/11? What's happened in our thinking?
Saying how can we even uphold 9/11 still? It seems like really vague. But I understand too that it's just the beginning of the warning.
Okay. Cathy, have you got an idea? Yeah. Why, when we read this quotation, Review and Herald, July 5th, 1906, paragraph 14, we said, okay, it's 9/11. Why?
So you're saying our original understanding of
Yeah.
that event with the old methodology. Well, we saw the event happen, and then we found the passage in the book,
Alors,
and it matched.
yeah,
So we thought,
we see the event, okay? Alors, we see the event, and after we read it. In 1911-13, or Review and Herald 1906, or Life Sketches for 11. Yeah? This is. Huh?
Yep.
And because she was giving us New York, Towers, and Revelation 18, 1 to 3, and this event happened in 9/11, 2001, we said that's it. This is the fulfillment of this quotation, right? Okay, so we see what we have seen, it's what we have read. So have you got another witness in the Bible to confirm that this kind of things already happen? I don't say that it's valid. I say, did we have another example in the Bible? We have seen it at class already. Huh?
Magi and the star?
Yes, where do you find that? For those who... can I ask you, Suelen, because I remember you correct my drawings the other day nicely.
Well, it's in numbers.
Yes. So what did they see? Alors, numbers, nombre. Is it a U or O?
You.
Numbers. Is you? Thank you. Numbers.
I think it's 27. Numbers 27, 14, is that it? Or
It's not
17?
24.
Not 24?
Is it
24.
Ouais, 24.
17.
Yeah, 24, 17. Okay? So we have the Magi. So what did they see? Okay, so they see the star. Okay? And what did they say? What did they do after that?
application.
Before to make an application, what did they do?
Commander?
Yeah, because you have to we are talking about the same examples as us. So before making an application, we did something. There is a step before.
They were reading the scripture.
Yes. Which one?
Balaam.
Yeah.
And then the Jewish scriptures.
Okay, so Balaam.
Well, what is his name called? Balaam? Is it Balaam?
Alors, how do you call it? Balaam? One A only? Oh, ben la case then.
How do you
It-
pronounce it in English?
In English, Balaam, they said.
Balaam.
Balaam. Okay?
Watch it.
So Balaam, they read Balaam writings. What else did they, can we go to Jesus Christ? Non, pas Jesus Christ. DAs, sorry. Desire and Ages, page 60, paragraph 1. So why I bring you to this quotation and not to the verse? Because the verse we know. Okay, they said they see a star that point to for what? For Desire of Ages
60.1.
60.1. Et pour nous, c'est Jésus-Christ 44. So because for us, I put 3 references. We said we read 90, 11, 13. We read Review and Herald, July 5th, 1906, and Life Sketches 411. It will be good to see what they did them. So if you go to the beginning, the bottom of the paragraph, they consulted priest and philosopher and searched the scroll and the ancient records. The prophecy of Balaam had declared, and she quote number 27. So what did they do? They consulted priest and philosopher and the scroll of the ancient records. Okay? So us, we say Balaam. And after, at the end, the last sentence, can somebody can read, please?
Light of heaven sent truth. Now it was shed upon them in brighter rays. Through dreams they were instructed to go in search of the newborn prince.
So what else they have?
Dreams?
They have dreams. And we say they consulted also priest and philosopher. Okay? Okay. So in fact, we see that it's not it's just to show that this also happened. And if you go into the Spirit of Prophecy code and you try to see what's going on in this time period, or how Ellen White described these experiences that the Magi had. She used for this example that we depicted this way, she used the word harbinger. Okay? So that's why we can say the warning, it's harbinger. Okay? Because we are our 2 witnesses, and that's why we understand that. Is it E? I don't remember. It's I, huh? It's not okay. Okay, thank you. Harbinger, like that? Okay. So Ellen White described, I didn't pull up the reference, but I think you can find it easily. She really said that what they have seen, it's really, she qualified it like a harbinger. It's not the real event, but it looks like the real event. So that means us also, because we have all these markers, these clues in a review general, when we read it, we say, oh, this happened in New York. First time in our life we see this event, because when Ellen White was writing this article in 1906, this didn't happen at all, okay? So this happened, and we said, oh, if it's happened in New York and and the tower is falling down, so that means that it's a warning, that revelation, it's the beginning of the warning, in fact, okay? And we focus not upon COP, we focus upon the Sunday law, because for us, the Sunday law was because the Sunday law for us was our closed door, always with the model church first, the door closed for the church at Sunday law, then for the world. So having this mind, this knowledge in our mind, we say, oh, if Sunday law is our door closed, so that means before we should have a warning. So the warning is there, starts there when we see this event. So this becomes our warning when we see the towers falling down. And we said, so Revelation 18:1-3, the angel descend. And when he will arrive at Sunday law, the peak, so it will be no warning fulfilled. This is how we thought. So by the way, because for Sunday law we have different doctrine, also Ellen White leads them for us, judgment of the living, sealing, later rain. So we bring everything at 9/11. Okay, so this is how we built 9/11, and we said, okay, so this is harbinger or warning for us. So as we read this quotation, we realize that it's not at all this focus Sunday law. Well, I will do it a little bit bigger. 1989, time of the end, 9/11, Sunday law, FTG, et Second Advent. Oh yes, oh. I'm so used to say FTG that, sorry. Okay, so what we understand, even though we have a bad methodology of what's going on in 9/11, all the characteristics we listed are valid, because what we have seen, it's what we have. If it's really happened, we cannot deny that 9/11 happened. Okay, it's a harbinger. So that means that it's not a harbinger to tell us that the Sunday law is coming, because for this context, the earthquake of San Francisco was a harbinger or a warning of what will happen in the end of the world, because this is the context of the quotation. So that means for us, 9/11 is not a harbinger or warning that Sunday law is arrived. It's a warning to tell us that COP is coming. Okay? And for us, COP, it's which remark? if we for the line of the priest, 2019. So in fact, God was warning us about our COP. Oui, Tamina.
9/11.
Vas-y.
When we say it warns, we have the warning beforehand, which warns us of the close of probation. And we know that the warning is the message. And we know that the rain is beforehand. Means this message of the rain is the warning of the close of probation. But when we look at the time period before COP, we know that we have two dispensations, the latter rain and the early rain. We know the latter rain is the warning, the last warning before COP. So that clearly shows how son-in-law warns of the COP. But when the latter rain warns of the close of probation, then also the early rain will have to warn before or of the close of probation, which makes completely sense that 9/11, which is the beginning of the rain, is showing or pointing to the close of probation, saying, this is the warning. Did that make sense?
Yeah,
Or did I
Can you recap what you have said in a few words,
Okay.
if you can?
We have a warning before of the close of probation.
Okay.
That's what we did on the left side of the board. And we know the warning is a message. We know that the rain.
So you will put the rain.
Rain is message. It's the warning. From Elmite we know that Sunday law, that time period, that dispensation is the last warning.
Yeah.
The warning of the close probation.
Okay. This is what we can see when you use not this quotation, but when you use not this one, but when you use the quotation of early writing, 277. Early writing 277, that it's a loud cry, and great controversy. Which pages you said? Sorry, chapter 38, and the pages is 603 in English, 657, 55 for the French, and it's the last warning. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm saying the last warning is the warning of the close of probation. That's the latter rain.
So you want, here's
So
the last
that-
warning of what she's talking about?
Is the last warning is the warning of the close of probation. Okay. So being consistent now, when the last warning, the latter rain, is the warning of the close of probation, then also the early rain needs to be a warning of the close of probation, which is 9/11 dispensation, early rain. It would be a warning of the close of probation.
This is how I understand it. The warning start for us at 9/11 and it's point to COP. So even though you fragment, you try to...
I took just rain.
Yeah, you took rain and you show that it's in two parts.
Yeah.
But the main, the focus of Ellen White is not to show the division of rain, it's just to focus upon that. So even though you say the former rain and the latter rain point to COP, the goal is the COP. And the message is to bring to the... Pardon? Yeah.
Elmite
we
doesn't
took
give
the
us
rain.
9/11, and we have difficulties to establish 9/11. And for me, in your class right now, just clicked how the rain is showing 9/11.
The rain show 9/11. Yes, but it's not the point of the stories to show to talk about the rain, even though it's in link with the 9/11. Okay, but it's not our focus, because if we have to talk about the rain, I have to go to do a digression to bring it in that story. Yeah? Sorry. Yeah?
As
Okay.
to what you said.
Okay. My time is up. So I will not go to Revelation 18 to place Revelation 18 on the line with you. How we place it for the line of the 144,000 and the line of the priest. But I wanted you to understand by studying Review and Herald, July 5th, 1906, what was Ellen White's concern. And her concern was COP. Because when she was writing in 1906, she has no clue, no understanding of 9/11. And for her, Jesus will come back soon. Okay, that's why she was urging the church to do the public evangelism work, to warn the cities and to be really involved in this work, because God is Jesus is coming back, and we already have sign of his coming by the elements, the earthquakes, the fires, and the flood. And she really wants us to focus upon the COP. So for us, in our dispensation, even though I didn't show how we apply Revelation 18 in our line, but while my target was really to show you the context of this quotation and why we apply this quotation at 9/11. But if now we want to study about the angel of Revelation 18, you have to take these two books, and the context is the Sandalo, and she really comparing the work of the second angel, Revelation 14:8, with the work of Revelation 18:1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and you see the different sequences. So what I want you to I think I will close here. If do you have any question or wise and fulfill? Yes, and COP 3. Okay, and then if you want, so 4. Okay, so really, after you can continue by your own. Okay, because this topic it's really important to understand. I don't have the pretension to understand everything, but to place it in the context, I think it was interesting to know what Ellen White was saying and what they faced at this time period, and that we have to understand that 9/11 it's a harbinger, and we cannot deny that it never happened. It's happened, so that's why we keep it for the moment. Okay, so thank you for your participation. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your help. We thank you for your goodness and your mercies. We thank you that you warn us about what is about to arrive, and please help us to have our mind focus on this eternal truth, and open our mind and understanding to your word, that we will be more settled into it and prepared to your soon coming. We pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.